This webinar is brought to you by HP Software. My name is Paul Shovelin, and I'm excited to be part of today's webinar. I'm a co-chapter leader for the Vivid Florida chapter, and I've recently become a co-SIG leader for the Performance Engineering Special Interest Group. I'm the Director of Client Management for Checkpoint Technologies. Checkpoint Technologies is an HP partner, and we specialize in quality assurance and software testing. Our presenters today are Mukalika Kappas, Senior Product Manager for HP Software. Mukalika is a product manager for Performance Center, a core part of the HP Software Performance Validation space, addressing the Enterprise Performance Testing Center of Excellence market. She's responsible for driving future strategy, roadmap, optimal solution usage, and best practices, and to serve as a primary liaison for customers in the worldwide field community. Mukalika has 14 years experience in IT consulting, software development, and architecture definition in SaaS. Mark Tennell, Product Marketing Manager for HP Software. Mark is a Product Marketing Manager for Application Development Management on the Performance and Lifecycle and Virtualization team. He is responsible for driving go-to-market strategy, product launch, and global sales enablement for HP StormRunner Load. Mark is experienced on online business and e-commerce teams, delivering quality products with great user experience. Some housekeeping items today. Today's live session is intended for all Vivid members. The recording will be posted in the webinar section on the Vivid site, visible for all members. Today's slide deck and webinar recording will be made available to you. We will send you the link via email once they are posted to the Vivid website. So if you have some colleagues who aren't able to attend today, they'll be able to view this recording on the Vivid site. If you have any questions as you go along, please type and send them in using the questions pane in the webinar control panel. Here is a picture of the GoToWebinar control panel that usually appears in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. To submit a question, make sure the questions pane is expanded and type in your question and click on Send. We will attempt to have our speakers answer as many questions as possible at the end of the presentation. All right, so let's get started, and I'll pass it on over to Mark Tennell.
Thank you very much, Paul, for the introduction. Hey, everybody, welcome, and thank you for joining us for this very special webinar. I'm very excited for this webinar because we'll be doing things a little bit differently today. You guys will have the opportunity to perform an interactive and hands-on load test with us using our solution, StormRunner Load. So before we start, I'd really like to take a quick poll on who would like to join us for today's hands-on demo. Okay, in this webinar, you'll be able to take advantage and perform a test with StormRunner. If you're up to the challenge, please select yes right now. If you're not ready right now, please select yes in the future, and we can send you a reminder later. Or if you're having internet issues or unable to participate right now, you can select no next time, and then you just listen in and follow along with the presentation. After the webinar, we'll have the video up on Vivid so you can run the test at your own pace. All right, so we'll just wait a couple more seconds. And Paul, it'd be great if you could please read the results when they come in.
Okay, yeah, it looks like we still have a fair amount of folks voting. Let's give it a few more seconds. And we'll go ahead and close it out. 77% folks have voted, and 41% are up to the challenge today. And the rest will be listening in.
Awesome, that's pretty good. You guys are ready to go with the challenge. And just a reminder for everybody, you guys already probably received a couple of emails from us earlier this week with instructions on how to access StormRunner. And it would be great if you could just pull up that email and have it ready to go just in case. But if you haven't signed up yet, you can go to www.hp.com/go/SRL. And from there, you can just easily sign up, create your trial account, and install TrueClient. And for those who have changed your mind and would like to join us right now, you can take a few minutes and sign up. And while you're doing that, you can just listen in while I do a quick introduction about how you and your company can benefit from our solution. All right, so what we're seeing today in the industry is that there are a ton of developers creating modern and innovative applications, especially in today's fast-moving mobile app market. After development teams build and eventually launch their cool new apps, there's always a lot of buzz and excitement around it, but sometimes it doesn't always go as planned. I'm sure most of you guys have been in this situation before, where you and your development teams don't have the time and the resources to thoroughly test your apps in production. Your apps are released to the world without being stress tested for the unexpected user demand. And when that happens, your apps have a dark side that remains unknown until you release your apps to your end users. When your end users finally download and start using the app, they discover and run into all these bugs and issues. And by then, it's way too late, and then you'll get the dreaded 1-star rating. Here on the right, we have some quick facts about mobile apps. And it says here that 53% of users hit the delete button when a mobile app doesn't respond fast enough or crashes. 49% expect a mobile app to respond in less than 2 seconds, which is extremely quick. 69% say app issues cause them to have a lower opinion of the company that made the app. And web and mobile performance disasters like these, they don't just heavily impact you on the revenue end. It also leads to negative headlines about your company, which can go viral at any time. This can damage your brand and contribute to the loss of your competitive advantage. As you can see here from the graph on the right, e-commerce sales are expected to grow steadily and significantly year over year. Forrester Research and eMarketer estimates that US e-commerce sales will reach nearly $500 billion by 2018. And with a number like $500 billion, the image on the bottom left-hand side of your screen, that's the last thing that you want your customers to see during this holiday season. This really magnifies how critical it is to deliver apps with quality, to deliver apps that perform under unexpected user load and network conditions. That's the main reason why it is extremely important for your company to make sure that your technology can keep up with the user demand. And now I'll hand it over to Mukalika, and she'll explain how our solution, HP StormRunner Load, works.
Thanks, Mark. Let me share my screen and we can start off. So I assume all of you can see my screen. Mark, can you confirm?
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay, great. So hi, everyone. This is Mukalika. I'm the product manager for HP StormRunner Load. We will spend 2 more minutes on presentation, and then we will go over to hands-on demo. So what is StormRunner Load? HP has had 2 more performance and load testing products, LoadRunner and HP Performance Center, as most of you are aware, which has been around for many, many years. So the question is, why did we need another performance testing product called StormRunner Load? StormRunner Load is focused towards agile teams. It's focused towards performance testing for web and mobile applications. In today's world of digital transformation, when the scalability is super high and people are moving more and more towards agile DevOps to release faster and faster, we needed a solution which is simple, smart, and scalable. So why is it simple? You can really design and create a load test in under 10 minutes, and we are going to do that today. Why is it smart? Using machine learning and predictive analytics, you will not only see all your application issues real time, but actually we will predict how your application is supposed to behave, and you will get anomaly alerts if it falls outside the range. And this is one area where in the next few months you will see many, many enhancements to our product. And why is it scalable? In today's demo, obviously, we will not scale to million virtual users in 10 minutes with 200 people trying it. But when you try StormRunner load, you can see within a couple of minutes, you can actually scale your load from one virtual user to millions across the world in just few minutes. So how does it work? User creates and uploads a script. The script can be different types, API, UI, and dev. What it means is it can be a transport level protocol using load runner scripting like web HTTP, mobile application protocol, or it can be SAP web, or it can be a JavaScript-based new scripting called True API for developers who love to write code. It can be a UI test where we are actually emulating a browser by using TrueClient. So if you're using heavy Ajax-based application, you can run TrueClient scripts. Or it can be a dev test where actually if you have pockets of projects in your organization using open source JMeter, then you can actually upload a JMeter script and run it from multiple locations in the cloud. As soon as you upload a script, we spin up load generators around the world based on the distribution that you specify. And as soon as the test starts, you can see all the results and analysis in real time. We integrate with Amazon Web Services, HP Cloud Services, and Microsoft Azure to begin with, and we are adding more cloud vendors as we go. StormRunner load integrates with HP SiteScope and New Relic for application monitoring so that you can see your application metrics while you're running the test. It also integrates with HP open source web page test so that while you're running a load test and your backend server is under load, you can see what is the end-to-end response time, what is the waterfall chart, the breakdown that actual end user sees. And I'm going to show all of this in real time in today's presentation. So before we go ahead, let's take a real use case of StormRunner load. This is one of the top 20 online retailers, the .com retailers where I'm sure a lot of you love to shop. This customer has been a HP Performance Center on SaaS customer for many, many years for their Center of Excellence. The digital line of business wanted a very high-scale cloud-based solution for burst testing and long endurance tests. And although the Center of Excellence is still using HP Performance Center, the digital line of business is using StormRunner. They can use the same scripts that they use in Performance Center and upload it in StormRunner when it's time for large-scale load testing or, say, 96-hour-long endurance tests. And so both the solutions together meet all of their performance testing needs. So, are you ready to test the coolest performance testing solution right now? Let's do a poll. So there are three options. One is yes, you're ready. Our second option is you need a couple of more minutes. And the third is you will watch the video, you will watch the presentation and the demo today, and you will try it at your own pace later.
A lot of votes are still coming in. Give it a few more seconds. All right, we can go ahead and close the poll. And with 76% of folks voting, 50% are ready to go ahead and test the coolest performance testing solution now.
That's awesome. So, we will let the rest watch the demo and let's go ahead with 50%. So step one, I'm going to show you how using TrueClient you can create a very simple script. Okay, We will not use the same script to do the test because if suddenly 100 customers start doing load testing against the same application, it will raise denial of service attacks. But for scripting, we will use the same steps, and then the next step will be creating a load where we will use a different script, a synthetic script, and then the third step will be seeing the results. That's how we are going to progress. So we are almost 20 minutes in the presentation, so let's start off. Sorry. So let's first go to StormRunner load. So as you saw in your Vivid invitation, before starting this presentation, you were supposed to go and sign up for your StormRunner load free trial account. I'm assuming the 50% who have said they are ready to go, they have signed up for their trial account, and they see something like this, StormRunner load, inside their SaaS account. So when they go to saas.hp.com and sign on to their account, they see StormRunner load like this. Now if you click launch, you will see a browser with exactly this. So this is the home page of StormRunner load. Let me show you some URLs before we start off. So if you need more help with how the product works, the documentation, you click on read the docs to the right, and you will see the StormRunner online help, where it will talk about how to set up integration with Jenkins, how to set up your monitors, how to run load tests, how to do analyze, everything, okay? If you want to see tutorials, then you can see the movies directly in the help. If you want to sign up for the LinkedIn groups and HP forums, you can sign up there. There are a lot of discussions going on about this new product, and and then we can start off. So in your email for this presentation, there was another instruction to set up VueGen or TrueClient. So if you are an existing LoadRunner customer and you have VueGen 12.5, then you don't need to do anything, because today's script that I'm going to create is using TrueClient 12.5. If you're not an existing LoadRunner customer and you don't have VueGen 12.5, then you were supposed to download the TrueClient installer. It's a standalone installer beforehand. I hope you have done that, and now we are ready to start scripting using TrueClient. There is a third option you can see, which is for downloading True API, which I said is a new JavaScript-based scripting. And then if you're using open source, later on you can try uploading your JMeter files and try to run a test. When you are really evaluating or using the product and you want to integrate it to your DevOps cycle, then you can download our Jenkins plugin or command line utility to call the tests from your CI system. So with that, no more talking, let's start with the hands-on. So assuming you have downloaded TrueClient standalone, you can run your TrueClient launcher by going to Program Files, TrueClient, and start your launcher. And today I'm going to record a TrueClient web script. So in this version of StormRunner, it supports Firefox, but very soon it will support IE and Chromium as well. So we are going to create a TrueClient script using Firefox. So in the chat window of the Vivid, I have given you this URL. This is our application that my R&D created yesterday night, and they're all in the call, actually, if something goes wrong. Since they created it yesterday night, it doesn't look as cool as Facebook. But for today's demo, I think we are good. So let's use TrueClient to record this script, okay? So all of you can actually type this IP address in your Firefox browser, and you can record this script. So as you see that you can very easily record scripts. You can navigate to different pages. Sorry, my AUT is a little slow. For next demo, we will have a much cooler one. and then we go click another link and it records it. And you can save this, you can stop recording, and you can save this file. And then when you want to run a load test, you can upload this file to StormRunner. So that's how you can create simple script. You can create transaction boundary. You can parameterize it. There are a lot of features of TrueClient for which we would need a complete dedicated session, trust me. So with that, we are going to create a test next, but let's do a poll on whether we have completed step 1. Could you create a TrueClient script, a simple TrueClient script? So let's try to do a poll.
All right, results are coming in. Give it a few more seconds. They're still coming in at a pretty good pace. And we'll go ahead and close it out. And 61% are rocking.
Wow, that's awesome. Anyway, for those of you who could not download TrueClient or could not complete the script, don't worry, because our step 2, which is create a load test, we will not use this script, as I said, because as you could see from my demo, the AUT is not that scalable. So if all of you hit that, we will also raise a denial of service attack because it's on Amazon and they monitor all of this. So we are going to use a different web HTTP script now, which will not hit this AUT, which is a much simpler script. So let's go to step 2, and before we move further, let's go to step 2 and create a load test. So let's go to our home page of StormRunner. As you can see, there are 3 main tabs. One is load tests, where you can see all your load tests. Again, StormRunner today is for project teams, so all the project teams can see all of this. If you need StormRunner for multiple project teams, we'll set up different tenants. The second tab is assets, where you see all your scripts and you can see all your monitors. I'm going to talk about the monitors next. If you don't want to use cloud load generators and you want to connect your on-premise load generators to StormRunner, we even have that option, and you can see those here. And also topologies for setting up your monitors. And then the final one is your results, which will be stored for you for the whole term that you sign up for. So with that, let's create a new load test. And before that, I wanted to show, one more thing. If you don't want to create any script, okay, then you can still use StormRunner. You can record a HTTP archive file and upload it. And how do you record a HTTP archive file? In today's modern browser, whether you're using Chrome or Firefox with Firebug, you can actually record your navigations as HTTP archive file, and you can upload it, and we create the script for you. Of course, if you want multiple transactions, then you have to manually edit the script. Also, if you are doing API testing and you don't want to create a script, you just want to type your REST API, we create the scripts for you. So this product is for all kinds of customers. It is for people who are familiar with LoadRunner, very familiar with scripting, as well as customers who are new to performance testing. With that, let's start a new load test. So let's all create a load test. The first tab, you can call it whatever you want to, and let's call it Vivid Demo 2. I think I already created many Vivid demos. Let's hope this one works, or let's put my name. We are going to use cloud load generators today. But as I said, you can even, if you set up on-premise load generators, you can use that too. You have the option to start a test and then pause it. Especially if you're testing against your production and you have very small production window to test, You want to start the test beforehand, let it provision all the load generators, and then pause it. And as soon as your testing window starts, you want to start it. Otherwise, for today's demo, we are going to start it immediately, so we are not going to delay it. You can enable your logs if you're troubleshooting, but of course, when you're running 500,000 virtual user tests, you don't want to do that. So I'm not enabling it today, but I'm not going to run a 500,000 virtual user test either. Now, I'm going to, you can either upload a script. If you want to use your script, you're most welcome to do that. Otherwise, you can add a script that I actually added in the chat window. So if you look at the chat window, I have provided a script in the chat window from a FTP site. So you can, I hope you have downloaded it beforehand. It was a part of the meeting invite as well. And then you can upload that script here. I already have it uploaded, so I will try to use that now. There is a typo, so it was called synthetic instead of synthetic. So I hope you can find your script. So I have added my script. I'm going to run 100 VUsers, but since if you guys are using your complete trial account, for unknown customers who just signed up for trial accounts, you have a limitation of 10 hits per second. So keep your VUsers low, otherwise it will give error. If you want to do some serious proof of concept or evaluation of StormRunner, please let me show you that. Please go to your account, open a under support, open a case saying, I want to do serious evaluation of StormRunner or POC or whatever, and I want you to remove any restrictions so that I can try out all features. But for today's demo, you can use 10, 50, and let's start the test. So I'm ramping up in 1 minute. I'm going to run the test for 5 minutes, and I'm going to tear it down for a minute. Okay. You can specify pacing, which will override the think times and pacing in your script. I'm not going to change that today. When you're doing actual tests, you will obviously have many, many more scripts, but for today's demo, let's keep it to 1. The next tab is monitors. We have 3 kinds of monitors. We have SiteScope on-premise. If you're already using HP SiteScope with LoadRunner Performance Center, you can hook that up. If you're testing an application in the cloud, then we can also spin up SiteScope for you free of cost in the cloud. And the third option is if you're using New Relic to monitor your application under test, you can add that. And then very soon in our next few releases, we will be adding Dynatrace and AppDynamics and HP AppPulse, the whole suite of AppPulse products. For today's demo, I'm not adding a monitor. And next stage is distributing the load. So today I'm going to pick 2 locations. For this demo, if you're trying it out, pick AWS because AWS provisions machines faster than Azure. And it's a little cheaper too for us since all of you are running tests. So let me distribute the load that I want to try out from Virginia and Oregon 50-50%. On top of that, I'm going to apply network characteristics. So StormRunner pricing and StormRunner itself includes Shunra or HP network virtualization, which is another product which needs a full session to talk about. But for this specific demo, what this HP network virtualization does is it can apply network characteristics on your traffic to give real response times. Because the response time that you see when you run load from a very high-end machine on AWS, when you apply mobile network characteristics to that, the response time varies a lot. And that's actually a typical scenario how your users are going to use your website. So for today's demo, I'll use a 50% mobile busy and 50% over Wi-Fi. Right now, StormRunner uses predefined profiles of network virtualization, but we are going to enhance this area to do customization and add a global library. And HP Network Virtualization has a very rich global library with all carriers, multiple locations, multiple network conditions. Then you can define your SLAs, and I will say 9. Sorry, let me just make sure I'm using one script. Okay. And then in the navigation breakdown, this is where we integrate with open source web page test. What we do is we spin up agents which run single users from the different locations we have picked and with different browser combinations, so that you will see what is your end-to-end breakdown for different browsers from these different locations. So I'm going to now run web page test against, say, any URL. Actually, since this is going to run a single user and not a load test against this, so what we are doing is we are running a load test against your backend using the script, and then at the same time you can add multiple URLs to see the end-to-end response time. So let's do that. If for fun, you can do it on any website you want. I was going to do it on hp.com, but then I thought, okay, if 100 customers does it on hp.com, it won't look good. So let's now start the test. So as soon as you click Run Test, what it will do is it will start provisioning the load generators. AWS takes between 5 to 7 minutes. Azure takes a little longer, and we are working with Microsoft to reduce that. Whether you're running a 1,000 virtual user test or 10,000 or 100,000 or 500,000, it really takes a couple of minutes to spin up the load generators. So you see, first we are initializing the load generators, then the analytics machines and results server. Then we are going to set up the web page test agents. If we were spinning up Sitescope in the cloud, we would have done that too, and then we start the ramp up. Now this is going to take 5 to 7 minutes. So let's start doing the poll on how we are progressing. So with that, Paul. So could you complete creating the test? Option 1 is yes. Option 2 is you need a couple of more minutes.
Okay, the results are coming in. Looks like some folks are still voting. And we can go ahead and close out the poll. And we have 74%. Keeping up, that's great.
Wow. Okay, so we did create a test in less than 10 minutes in spite of me talking. So let's move to execute the test and discover what is happening with your application. Okay, so let's go back to StormRunner. So as you see that my load generators are done. Analytics machines are going on, and navigation breakdown is going on, and then the ramp up is going to start. While this is going on, I'm going to walk you through an existing test which I ran to show you some of the other cool features. Let's go, sorry, here. So this is one test which I had already run, and I'm going to show you how the results look when so if you see that I already had, say, 6 runs of this test, and I can see the trends, etc. I can mark one of these as the benchmark, and I can compare the results of the rest of the runs with the benchmark. So you can see I have some icons to the right. So the first one is your real-time dashboard. Over here, I'm going to show you a dashboard where the test is already executed, but this is what you're going to see real-time in a couple of more minutes for your test. The second one is your report. It's a PDF report today, and very soon it's going to be Word document with customizations. Then you can download your test results as CSV and analyze it offhand. And then the fourth one is to see your client-side breakdown. So let's first go to the dashboard. And while I'm again talking, you can keep an eye on what's happening with your test. So my test hasn't yet started, so let's go back to this one. So as you see that these are different metrics that you can see in real time while your test is running. By clicking on this, you can add more metrics, okay? You can add all your transactions, your monitors, all of that. There are different views, more tile view, more row views, etc. Each of these metrics, you can actually filter it based on your location, etc. script, emulation. You can split it. Over here, interestingly, you see I have split it by location and by network characteristics. And you see, actually, if you look at the throughput, let's look at, say, the throughput and see how it is changing. Or let's add a response time. That's even better. Yeah, if you look at the transaction response time, and if you split it by, say, emulation, you will see amazing difference, okay? See? And why do we call StormRunner Load Smart? This is what I wanted to show. So in real time, the product within few minutes of your test starts learning how your application is supposed to behave. And actually you see this blue area. So initially, because it's still ramping up, it predicts that your application throughput can be between this wide range. But as your test stabilizes, your range also starts tapering down. So after that, if your application starts behaving as not expected, it will start throwing anomaly errors. And you can see those in the graph at real time. Okay, and let's just go back and see what's happening with our test. And the test has just started, and it is going to load the metrics very soon, and you will start seeing I already have started getting SLA warnings, and you see the data has started showing up. So while it's gathering more data, let me walk you through a couple of more things for the sake of time. So you saw what you see in real time in this dashboard. You can zoom it by sliding the timer bar to look at more details. You can look at the report, the PDF report after the test is done, and you can actually look at the top transactions, failures, geographical distribution, and all your metrics, errors, etc. Or, as I said, you can download it as CSV. You can email it, export it, and then let's look at this interesting navigation breakdown. So as I said, with the integration with web page test, we show you what is your end-to-end behavior, user experience when your application is under load or no load, and for different browsers from different locations. So if let's look at this with Firefox under load, how my application behaved, okay? And this is one area where please keep an eye. We will be really innovating in this area. We will very soon not only show this for URLs, but for your entire process, business process with different network characteristics. And also customers are already requested us to show perceived versus actual response times, etc. So with that, let's go back to your test and see. As you see, your data points have started coming up. You still don't see the anomaly area because it takes a couple of minutes for us to learn how your application is supposed to behave, and then it will start showing you that. Once the test ends, you will be able to see the web page test measurements as well, and you can download your report as PDF. So with that, so we did step 3. We executed the test to look into your application. So let's do a poll on how are we doing with step 3. Are you rocking or you need more time?
Yep, the votes are coming in. And give it about 5 more seconds. All right, we'll go ahead and close it out. And 75% are keeping up.
They're rocking, Paul.
They're rocking. I'm sorry, Mukalika. You're right.
Okay. So with that, let's move on. As those of you who could not sign up for the trial, you can go to this URL and you can sign up for a 30-day trial of StormRunner. You get 1,000 virtual user hour, but you have some restriction on hits per second. So if you are really evaluating, you can actually request us to increase your hours, time, and we are here to listen to you and do whatever it takes. So I just wanted to talk, there are multiple pricing options for StormRunner. We have virtual user-based pricing and virtual user hour-based pricing. If you're interested, we can have separate one-on-one with you to talk all about this, but just very quickly, if you want to try out StormRunner or if you want to run burst testing, and if you want to just use pay-per-use, you can go with the virtual user hour-based pricing, where you calculate what is your peak load you want to run and how long you want to run, and you multiply and buy a bucket of virtual user hour. Once you buy it, you can slice and dice it as you want. You can buy a 10,000 virtual user into, say, 10 hours. But after you buy that, you can actually run 5,000 virtual user for 20 hours or 1,000 virtual user for 100 hours, up to you. And the other option is if you're using your on-premise LGs or if you're using your own cloud account, we don't care about hours because it's your infrastructure, it's your hardware. And then you can buy virtual user-based pricing. But we have different other options, and for more details, you need to contact your sales. So with that, this is the URL. Again, if you could not sign up, so please go and sign up and try it and give us feedback and let us know. We are really working like a startup in a bigger HP and trying to really help our customers with this new product. So with that, I will hand over to Paul and we will go over all the questions that you have.
Great. Thank you, Mukalika. So we'll go ahead and take a look at what questions we have. So folks are interested in what are the differences between StormRunner Load and LoadRunner?
Okay, I can answer that. So LoadRunner is an on-premise solution. It is the market-leading solution with different kinds of protocols. So if you want a solution covering all protocols on-premise, then LoadRunner is your solution. StormRunner is a cloud-based solution focused mainly towards agile teams, and it is mainly for web and mobile applications today. We will be enhancing it more and more, but today it's mainly for web and mobile applications.
Great, thank you. Okay, next one. Can I use my existing LoadRunner Performance Center scripts?
Yes. So if you're on LoadRunner 12.01 and above, then you can.
All right, great. Let's see, how does the licensing work and what is a virtual user hour?
Okay, so that will take a lot of time, but in simple, as I said, say you want to run 1,000 virtual users. Imagine this is a cloud-based application. So we pay cloud vendors by the hour. So we want to make it very cost-effective for you. So if you want to run 1,000 virtual users and you know that, okay, my test will be for 10 hours, 20 hours, or in 3 months I won't use more than 300 hours, then we don't want to charge you for the entire year or every hour in the month. You just buy what you need to use. So you buy 1,000 virtual users for, say, 20 hours for 2 months. Whenever you buy so we take the virtual users and the hours and we multiply, and that's the virtual user hour. Once you buy a bucket of virtual user hour, it's available to you for 1 year to use. Once you buy a bucket of virtual user hour, as I said, you can slice and dice it as you want. So you can run a 1,000 virtual user test for 10 hours, or 500 virtual user tests for 20 hours, or 10,000 virtual user tests for 1 hour. So it's up to you. And if you don't know your usage in hours, then we can work with you to give you a more custom pricing based on just virtual user.
Okay, great. Next question, how does the integration with network virtualization work?
So StormRunner pricing as well as the product includes network virtualization. So you don't have to buy it separately, or you don't have to set it up separately. So when you are setting up your tests, we automatically give you options to define network characteristics.
Okay, great. Another great question, will this work on a Mac?
Great question. StormRunner will work on a Mac. The True Client Launcher requires Windows, but in our next release, may not be next, maybe next release in a couple of months, we will have a True Client XPI for to use in Mac using, say, Firefox. So then you don't need a Windows machine for even scripting. But if you want to use it today for scripting, unless you're using JMeter, which also requires, I think, Windows. Unless you need today Windows for scripting, but then for execution, you can use StormRunner. Also, if you want to use HAR files and you don't care about any scripting, then you can use it on a Mac.
Okay, great. What is needed for App Dynamics integration?
I am working with App Dynamics team to build that integration. As soon as it's available, you need to have your own App Dynamics account and your own App Dynamics instance, and then you can hook into StormRunner. But as I showed in the demo, right now that integration is not there. Right now the integration is with New Relic and HP SiteScope, but it's pretty high in our backlog.
Okay, great. Where did you get the quick facts from?
Sorry, which quick facts?
The quick facts, I guess that must be a reference to a slide in the presentation. Quick facts.
Hey, Paul, I posted the link on the answer section.
Okay.
So you can find it
is it the help? Oh, okay, that's the quick facts. Okay, it's there in the answer section. And
exactly.
Paul.
Okay. Next question. Does it support the Citrix protocol?
No. Right now it supports Web HTTP, Mobile Application Protocol, SAP Web, True Client, True API, and JMeter.
Okay, great. What's the advantage of using StormRunner over LoadRunner? Oh, just lost it.
Sure.
So someone added a question. When using on-premise LGs, load generators.
Okay. Sure. So if you're looking for a SaaS-based solution to manage your data, your tests, your user management, but you want to use but all your applications are not outbound, and you don't want to use cloud LGs, then you can use StormRunner with on-premise LGs. But StormRunner, even with cloud LGs, can be used for internal web applications. We allow IP whitelisting. So if you want to use StormRunner with cloud LGs, but you don't want to open up your web application to external world, what we do is we buy elastic IPs from cloud vendors, and we give those to you beforehand, and you can open your firewall for only those specific IPs. For more details, you can go to the help and search by IP whitelisting. But if you don't want to use Cloud LGs at all, but you still want a SaaS solution, then you can use on-premise LGs and hook it up to StormRunner.
All right, next question. Is there a limit to how many on-premise load generators can be used with StormRunner?
No, there isn't today.
Okay, great. Is StormRunner eventually to replace LoadRunner?
Great question. So LoadRunner has been around for 20 years, Performance Center for almost 10 years, and StormRunner is our next product, which will hopefully be there for next 20 plus years. The idea is over time, based on adoption and how the market is changing, this will be our next generation platform. But it is still very early to talk about that. We will see how customers like it, adopt it, and then we will decide, and then we will have migration path. But right now, you can use both.
Okay, great. What is the major difference between SRL and Performance Center?
So Performance Center is our solution for Center of Excellence. So if suppose one project team wants to do performance testing, they use LoadRunner. When 10 project teams are using LoadRunner or StormRunner, then they consolidate to Center of Excellence solution. So today, if you have 10 projects using LoadRunner and you want to reuse your assets, your license, your hardware, you consolidate to use Performance Center. Performance Center is available on-premise as well as it's a managed offering on HP SaaS. StormRunner is built from ground up as a cloud-based solution. So its scalability is higher than any of our solutions, and it is completely new. So we have Performance Center on SaaS and StormRunner in parallel today. StormRunner is focused mainly towards project teams, and Performance Center on SaaS is towards Center of Excellence. Next year, we will be coming up with StormRunner Ultimate, and then we can discuss more.
Okay, great. Another great question we have is, are there any plans for a webinar showing StormRunner doing mobile application testing?
That is exactly in our plan, and so StormRunner recently built an integration with HP Mobile Center, which does mobile lab management. If you are doing mobile application testing, manual, automated, across multiple devices, then as well as you want to do load testing, then all of that can be done using HP solution, and we will have a webinar following using StormRunner, Mobile Center, AppPulse Mobile, and also not only focus on our products, but more on best practices and how to do mobile testing.
Okay, great. Is StormRunner Load part of ALM?
StormRunner Load is under the same business unit as the ALM. And in future, StormRunner Load will integrate with our next generation ALM solution, which I don't think I can talk about it yet in this webinar, but when that will be available, StormRunner Load will integrate with that, the agile solution for ALM.
We can't twist your arm on that? All right, next question. Does StormRunner provide functionality where you can export reports to various applications such as Crystal?
Right now you can export it as PDF and CSV. Very soon you will be able to export it as Word. Crystal reports, this is the first time I'm hearing the need. We can look into it. Paul?
Sorry, I was on mute. Let's see, I don't it looks like most of the other questions have been answered by the panel. Mark, do you see any other questions?
Yeah, I think we have some questions flagged in green or red. Those ones haven't been answered yet.
Okay. With StormRunner now being promoted, does this mean LoadRunner Performance Center will be slowly rolled out? Since the StormRunner is also
so again, as I said, that StormRunner is our next generation load and performance testing platform. It is still too early to talk about migration and rolling out. We are moving very fast with this product. Our customers, we are taking it to all our LoadRunner and Performance Center customers, asking for feedback and actually asking them to use this in parallel for their agile teams, for their web and mobile application teams. Based on the adoption and how fast we move, we will come up with a whole plan, but it's still too early. For next few years, all the three products will be around. We have thousands of customers, so nothing's happening in next 4 years.
Okay, great. Is there a limit to how many on-site premise load generators can be used with StormRunner?
No, there is no limit. For the sake of time, Paul, if all the questions have been answered, do you want to discuss the next steps?
Sure. I think we do have one more question about integration with BSM.
Sure. So StormRunner is already integrated with Sitescope. It will integrate with AppPulse. So the new generation HP monitoring suite of products, which is under the umbrella of AppPulse. So it will next integrate with AppPulse Mobile and AppPulse Browser and AppPulse Trace, which are the new generation products to do synthetic monitoring and real-time monitoring and diagnostics. You will see all of that in very short time frame. We are working on it.
All right. And that wraps up the question and answer session. Thank you very much, Mukalika. So we'll go ahead and move forward with wrapping up the presentation. Thank you. I think there's another slide before that on Discover in London.
Not in this deck.
All right. Well, I'll just go ahead and speak to it. So HP Discover in London is December 1st through the 3rd. Join over 10,000 IT leaders from around the world at HP Enterprise's largest technology event. Learn how HP Enterprise and their partners can help you transform to a hybrid infrastructure, protect your digital enterprise, empower a data-driven organization, and enable workforce productivity. So mark your calendars now for December 1st through the 3rd in London. There's also, I don't see we have it available, a unique Vivid Worldwide link that you may use to register. We'll go ahead and ensure that that link is included in the email with the recording and slides for this presentation today. Thank you for attending today's webinar. Please be sure to complete the short survey after the webinar ends and opt in to receive more information from HP Software, and you will be entered into a drawing for an HP Stream 7. But you must fill out the survey in order to be eligible for the HP Stream. Just a reminder, the webinar recording and slide deck will be posted to the Vivid website, and in the next few days you will receive an email with those links. Lastly, thank you, Mukalika and Mark, for taking time out of your busy schedules today and sharing this great wealth of knowledge with all of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. I would like to thank my R&D team who are in the background keeping an eye to make sure everything ran smoothly. Not many product companies demo live with all hands-on, but we want to be different, and we are trying. So thanks everyone for your time.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.